Okay, hi everybody, welcome back once again to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Um, if you're new to the channel, please ensure you have subscribed, turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified every time when we upload a new session. So today we're going to be looking at the 2023 trial exam as per your request. That let us look at some trial exam papers, right? So if you have any question that you want us to solve, feel free to comment and tell us you want us to do this question and upload it. We'll surely do that, gladly so. And yes, here's the trial exam, Gauteng province. And we're gonna look at this quite interesting question, part of algebra. Without wasting any time, let's get into it. Okay, so the question goes like, if p is equal to the root of x plus 2 divided by the root of 16 minus x squared, for which values of x will p be real? Okay, what will be the x values that will make this p to be a real number? Okay, what is that value of x? Okay, we do understand that we have two types of numbers. We have real numbers and we also have non-real numbers. Okay, remember non-real are also known as what? Imaginary, right? Imaginary is those ones for root of negative. You can say negative 1, right? So this one is a non-real number. You punch your calculator, it says error, right? It's a number though, but it's just that it's imaginary or what? It's non-real. Hence your calculator says error. But as you go to varsity, you actually realize it's actually a complex number and all that. But that is beyond the scope of grade 12. But we do know that that will be classified as non-real. Okay, so for it to be real, we do know that the root must actually be of a positive number. Okay, so if your square root is a positive number, that number will always be what? Will always be real. When you punch a calculator, I mean, if it's a root 2, you'll get something like 1,4142 like that, right? This is a real number. It exists. Okay, so that is it. You know, real numbers in the number system goes into your rational number, sometimes can be irrational, you know. You go into integers, you know, and all those kind of numbers, natural and all that. So it's a umbrella of quite a number of things. But the key thing in this question, for it to be real, the square root must be a positive number. That is, whatever that is in the square root must be greater or equals to what? Or equals to 0. But we have to be a little bit careful here, right? Because we have a fraction, right? So in this fraction, on top, right, obviously this must be greater or equals to 0. So in other words, we are saying for this to be real, x plus 2 must be greater or equals to 0. That is it, right? But when we go to the bottom, we have to be a bit extra careful here. 16, let me write it, 16 minus x squared. We are saying it must be positive. That is, it must be greater or equals to 0. But we have to be careful here. If this equals to 0, right? If the denominator equals to 0, you'll have root of 0. And this will actually give you 0, and you'll be dividing by 0. Do you understand? So in the denominator, we can't say equals 0. In other words, we will just say greater than 0, because we do know if we say equals 0, it's giving us error. It's no longer real, rather it will be, you know, root of 0, which is like you are dividing by 0, and this won't make p to be a real number, but rather imaginary, because anything divided by 0, it's error, imaginary. Okay, so we just need to be a little bit careful there. As much as we are saying the square root must be positive, under it must not be equals to 0, because if it's equals to 0, you are dividing by 0, and that is an imaginary or non-real. Okay, so that is what you have to do really. Then you can just simply solve. This will be, you know, x must be greater or equals to minus 2, right? So when we come to this side where this one is greater than 0, you can just go and factorize first, right, to get your critical values. It's 4 minus x, it's 4 plus x. Okay, so your critical values is what? It's negative 4 and what? And 4, right, on a number line. So you do understand that this function here, it has an a of a negative, right? So it will be like a sad face, right? Because a there is negative. Then you check where this is greater than 0. So you treat this line here as a 0 line, right? This is where y is 0 and this is like it's a function. So where it's greater than 0, it's on top here. Okay, so it's when x must be between 4 and what? And negative 4 according to this number line. Okay, but we have another restriction here where x must be greater than or equals to minus 2. Okay, that is from what? From minus 2 going backward to minus 1, you know, greater 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it must be less than 4. So can you see now the bound that we are getting? Here it's saying x must be greater than minus 4, but on top it will be contradicted, because if you choose minus 3, for example, if you let x to be minus 3, on top you will have minus 3 plus 2, which will be negative. So hence here it's saying on top x must be greater or equals to minus 2, but this one on the bottom x must be between minus 4 and 4. We have to conclude, guys, we have to combine these two and to really find that interval of x, which values of x will actually ensure that this is always a real number. Okay, so using both restriction from greater or equals to minus 2, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, we are ending at 4. So we can finally conclude that our final answer is when x is greater or equals to minus 2, but must be less than what? Less than 4. That will be the final answer, for which the value of p will be real. I hope you find this helpful. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.